Hi dear students, I welcome you to the session and today we are going to discuss the chapter number 7 QBasic Programming Lab Cycle. As you know, we have completed the studies about our QBasic chapters. Now we have to discuss few examples. So the first question is, write a program to print multiplication table of number 6. We know what will be the multiplication table of 6. Now we have to discuss how it comes with QBasic. As you know, the first line we have given a num. What is num? Num is a variable here. So let num equal to 6 and let I equal to 1. Then we have given a limit to I, that is 1. So you will start the number from 1. For I, the starting value or initialization value will be 1. Let us check what will be happening in the next step. So we are entering into the do. So we are going to deal this process with a loop. Let us check what will be that. So inside that, let prod equal to I star num. So product, again a variable is assigned there. That product is equal to I star num means I into num. What is I here? It is 1. Star num. What is num here? 6. So first step, it will give you the answer 1 into 6. Product equal to 1 into 6. Then print I. So whatever you are getting as this I, it will be printed as this area's output. After that, you can see the X. X means it is used to give you the indication for multiplication. Then num. What will be the num? Num won't vary inside this program. Only the changing variable will be I. Then an equal to symbol is given there inside double quotes. Again semicolon clause. Then prod. Whatever the value we have given to the variable prod will be displayed on the last area of each and every line. Next is print. So whatever we have given, it have to be printed properly. And after that, let I equal to I plus 1. That means after the first line, that is 1 into 6. Then prod equal to 1 into 6. And it will be printed like a first thing I, that is 1. Then star mark or into mark will be there. Then num is 6. Then equal to symbol and prod. What will be the value of the first cycle? 1 into 6. It will be 6 itself. So 6 will be printed there. After that, it will appear or it will go to the let line. Let I equal to I plus 1. What will happen? Currently the value of I is 1. So I equal to 1 plus 1. So incrementation will be taking place at that moment. That means the second value will be 2. So you can get the result like 2 star 6 equal to 12. So it will continue its process. Let us check the next line. Loop while I less than or equal to 10. So it will take only up to the values 10. Any value greater than 10 won't take the value as I. So you can see the result on the right side. Then let us move to the next program. Write a program to read radius of 10 different circles and print the area and perimeter of each. So the first thing you have to understand how we can find area. Then how we can find the perimeter. What will be its method? What will be its way of finding the answer? So I'm redirecting you to the program. Let num equal to 1. So first of all, we are assigning a value 1 to the variable num. Then while num less than or equal to 10. num less than or equal to 10 means currently the value is 1. So the values have to be less than or equal to 10. That means 1 we can take, 2 we can take, 3, 4, 5 up to 10 only. Then print circle num. That means you have to enter a circle num. Then num. That means we don't need to enter that. It will automatically enter. How it enter? You can see the variable we have given there, that is num. So currently the value will be 1. After that it will get incremented at the last line. You can see the incrementation num equal to num plus 1. So like that 1 to 10 values will be there for each num, each circle number. Then next line, print enter the radius of the circle. So you can enter the radius of the circle, and after that input radius. So this is the line. You have to enter your radius here. Then print radius of the circle. Radius. That means whatever we have given as the radius will be printed on that area. Then after that you can see REM. REM is used for making any comment or non-executable line. So the program will never mind this line. Actually this is made because the programmer have to get some idea about the line which we are going to deal with. After doing this process, if we are coming back after many more time, like 1 year or 2 year after, then we have to understand this program so that you can make any kind of comment to recognize the process that we have done. So REM, area of the circle is pi, that means pi. Pi value will be 3.14. 3.14. It's a scientific value. So pi star r square, that will be the pi r square, that will be the circle's radius. So pi r square, that means r is the radius that we are entering, pi is the scientific value, and its value, its equivalent value will be 3.14. Then in the next line you can see area equal to 3.14 star radius star radius. Actually it is pi r square. Pi r square. Then REM, perimeter of the circle is 2 star pi star r. That means 2 pi r. 2 into 3.14 into whatever the radius that you have given. Next line you can see the equation, perimeter equal to 2 star 3.14 star radius. Then print area of the circle, semicolon area. So whatever the value which we have saved in the area or in the variable called area, that will be printed as the area of the circle. Next line, print perimeter of the circle, semicolon, perimeter. So whatever the value we have stored in the variable called perimeter will be displayed on this line. And after that num equal to num plus 1. That means the number will be get incremented. And the incrementation process took place only by adding only one value. That means at the first cycle the circle number will be 1, then circle number 2, then circle number 3 up to 10. And after that all the things can be printed properly. Then we are concluding our while, we are ending our while. Then after that the final end process will be took place, and you can see the result here. Circle 1, circle number 1, enter the radius of the circle. So I have entered the value 1. Then radius of the circle 1, it is printed there. Then area of the circle 3.14. Then perimeter of the circle 6.28. Then circle number 2, again we are entering some value, it is printing some result. Again circle number 3 is taking some values from us, and after that it is producing some output. So the process will continue up to the value number 10, circle number 10. Then we have our third problem. And the third problem is already we have attempted in the previous sessions. It's a process which I have given you as your homework with a little bit difference. So now I'm going to read the question. Write a program to read your personal expenditure for 6 months, and if the total expenditure exceeds 25,000, print the result as expenditure exceeds the limit. If not, print how much more can be spent in this year. And your starting month will be January and the completing month will be June. So let us discuss, or let us check how we can do this process. So the first line you can see here is print, enter the expenditure for 6 months. So simply we are taking some information from the user. So the same question will be printed on your display screen, and after that REM, enter 6 values with comma, so that it is giving you a comment that we have to enter the values, 6 values at the same time, with separating the values or separating the expenditure of each month with a comma. Then in the next line you can see input J, F, M, A, MA, JU. That means J stands for January, then February, March, April, May and June. So these are all the 6 months that we have included in our problem. And after that, let tot equal to, that means tot is a variable, stands for total, equal to J plus F plus M plus A plus MA plus JU. That means the expenditure whatever we have entered as this month, it will be added, and whatever the result will be, it will be stored as the with the variable name tot. And after that, print in Jan equal to semicolon then J. So whatever I have given my expenditure for January will be printed by this line. Next line you can see F, then my February expenditure, then up to June the same procedure will be going there. And after that, print for 6 months semicolon tot, then for 6 months equal to the value whatever we have saved as tot will be printed. So if you are entering the expenditure of your January to June period, it will be added and stored as tot. So whatever the complete expenditure, it will be displayed on this area. After that, if tot greater than 25,000. So here we are checking the criteria that is that crossing my limit or not. So my total expenditure is checking with the 25,000. If it is greater, if my expenditure is greater, then print limit crossed. Then print limit crossed. And after that you can see else. Else more equal to 25,000 minus tot. That means if I am not exceeding my limit, if I am not exceeding my limit and it is lesser than 25,000, then the else condition will be going on this criteria. That is more equal to 25,000 minus total. Whatever my value will be, it will be deducted from 25,000. And print you have RS semicolon more semicolon to spend in this year. That means you have RS, then whatever the value stored in more, it will be printed there, then to spend in this year. Then end if, you can see the last line end if, and you can see the result on the right side. Actually in this area you can see I have entered some values, but I didn't know entered any comma, anything like that. I have randomly entered a number. Then at that second I got an error. That means redo from start. So I have to enter the values from starting. So again I have done the same mistake. I want to check how it is working. So again it is asking me redo from start. Then I have entered the values like January's expenditure, then comma, February's expenditure, then comma, after that all the 6 months I have entered, and after that all the values are displayed as its expenditure. Then for 6 months whatever the sum, it will be printed on that area. Then it is deducted, it is checked that is it crossing the limit 25,000. No, it is only 12,000. Then what will happen? Only it will deduct that 12,000 from 25,000, and the value storing inside more variable will be 13,000. So your result will be you have Rs 13,000 to spend in this year. So this will be your result. Already you have tried once to attend this question with a little bit difference. I think you have got the proper idea about this program. So the next program, number 4. And the question is, write a program to find the sum of odd numbers from 1 to n. 1 to n. Any given number, any number can be there. It is not limited to any proper number. It's 1 to n. Whatever you can give. So let us discuss the program. At first what will happen? It is inputting some value. Input n. Input n means I can enter any value on my screen, on my answering compiler area. Then sum equal to 0, num equal to 1. So I have entered 2 variables here and 2 values are stored inside that variable. Then I am opening a loop while. Inside while I am checking some conditions, that is num less than or equal to n. So num, what is num? 1 less than or equal to n. Whatever the value given by me at this running state, it will be read as n. Sum equal to sum plus num. Sum equal to sum plus num. So sum equal to 0 plus the num. What will be the num? The num is currently 1. Then num equal to num plus 2. That means it will increment. It will increment by 2. That means current value of num will be 1. And in the next iteration it is changing to 3. After that it is going to the last line, that is went. Went means it is completing its while loop. Then print sum of odd numbers from 1 to num. Whatever the number it will be typed there is. Then again whatever the value in sum it will be printed there. Then end. Let us check how it gives you the output. So I have entered the n1. N is 1 here. So sum of odd numbers from 1 to 3. 1 to 3 is 1. Sum of odd numbers from 1 to 3 is 1. That is the result of my program. So I have created the logic for these kind of output. Then we can move to the next problem. And the question is, write a program to enter 15 different numbers. Find the sum of only even numbers from this set. So what will happen? Let us check. Num equal to 1 and sum equal to 0. Same thing we have given here. Then while loop is opened, then num less than or equal to 15. That means I have 15 attempts. Print enter a number. So here you can see a display message like enter a number. Then input to value. That means we can enter any value at this moment. Then REM, that means we are going to enter some kind of command. What is that command? Check for the number whether odd or not. If it is odd or even, it will be noted at this next line. What is the condition for that? If inside the 2 parentheses starting value mod 2, that means value modulus of 2. If its remainder value is equal to 0, then sum equal to sum plus num. Sum equal to sum plus num. What is the current values in sum? That is 1. And in num it is 0. 1 plus 0. So sum will be 1. Then end if. If just imagine that it is not satisfying the if condition. Value mode 2 is not equal to 0. If it is 1, then it won't execute sum equal to sum plus num. It will automatically go to the next line end if. And it will follow num equal to num plus 1. That means num equal to 1 plus 1. That means num will be 2. Then went, that means your while statement is ending at this line. Then print sum of odd numbers is sum. That means whatever the value we have stored in sum will be printed there. Let us check how it completely processing. So enter a number is asking me 15 times. I have entered the number up to 15 in the same order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 15 I have entered whenever the process is asking me to enter a number. After that you can see the sum of odd numbers is 64. 64. So odd numbers means 1 will be there, 1 will be added there. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13 and 15. So these all are the values, odd values which is present in this program. So this much for the session, and you have to go through these each and every program properly. And in the same lab cycle we have few more examples. Example number 6. Example number 6 for write a program to print the largest of a list of numbers. List of numbers are entered by the user and terminated by -99. So whatever the value will be, it will be replaced by 99. That is the process number 6 or program number 6. Then we have the next program, that is for creating a pyramid. Write a program to print the following patterns. So a pattern is there in the page number 60 and the program is given there. Then we have some exercises at this page number 61. First program is to write a program to find the sum of squares of 1 to 10. 1 to 10. That means 1 into 1 plus 2 into 2 plus 3 into 3 plus up to 10 into 10. So these all values we have to add. So I'll just give you an example how we can do this thing. Just you have to give the value sum equal to 0 and you have to assign a count from 1 to 10. For counter or count equal to 1 to 10. Then sum equal to sum plus count raised to 2. Next counter will be there. Then you have to print that sum only. That is the process. Then process number 9 or program number 9. Write a program to print all the multiples of 3 from 100 to 200. 100 to 200. So what we have to do, it is just a variation of your first lab cycle activity you have seen in the page number 54. The first problem we have discussed in this session. It is a variation of this program. Actually in the first line, let num equal to 6 will be changed to num equal to 3. Then let I equal to 1 will be changed to I equal to 34. 34. Then after that come to the last line, that is loop while. Loop while. At this area what you have to do is, currently it is I less than or equal to 10, right? So you have to change it to I less than or equal to 200. So these all are some clues which you have to make use whenever you are processing this particular program. And the 10th program, write a program to print the following pattern. Few symbols are there, like a star symbol, plus symbols are there. So a kind of pyramid is typed there. So it will be better to type this pyramid with the help of only the print lines. We don't need any kind of loops or nothing. We just do this with the help of print line itself, like a print star, then print star, then again plus semicolon, print star plus star, then semicolon. So like that you can prepare this program. So it will be a better experience that if you are creating these few examples. So we will meet in our live session, guys. So till then, thank you.